Today we're talking about why your short form content isn't performing on social media. The top mission-driven creators on the internet use short form to propel their content out to the masses of new audience members on a daily basis. Some of them get millions of views on autopilot from content that already exists on their pages, meaning they didn't just record for the shorts, but what makes this stuff actually go viral? I'm going to answer that exact question in this video, and I promise it will be the most simple explanation you've ever had of short form content. I'm even going to give you our exact 3-step method that I've personally used to get over 45 million views on a single video on my social platforms. This stuff works every single time. You might have some amazing ideas and your content might be incredible, but if you're not following the right structure, you'll never go viral on social media. By the way, I'm Ty, and I help doctors and mission-driven content creators go viral on social media. I've personally gotten millions of views on my own content and hundreds of thousands of followers, and this is the stuff that my team and I do on a daily basis. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so first up, in the 3-step method, we're gonna start with the base layer. This is the foundation of every single video that goes viral. This is how you need to think about planning your videos each time you look for a viral video in your content. Most people would think that this would be the hook, but I'm gonna show you why that's not even close to being the first thing that you should think about when you're looking at crafting a reel. The payoff in your content is the moment in the content that's going to reward the viewer's dopamine centers in the brain. It's what makes people want to watch. They want to know the payoff. Think of the payoff like the drop or the hook in your favorite song. You know that build up where the tension rises, your heart's pounding, and you're just waiting for that beat to hit? Then the drop or the chorus hits and it's pure satisfaction. That's what your audience is craving when they watch your content. They're sticking around for that moment where it's aha, the click moment or the punchline. But it's only because they know the drop exists. How do they know that that even exists, or that your payoff in your content even exists? And what if this stuff isn't present in your content? Well, we'll get to that part in just a minute, and I'll even show you how I personally go about crafting this to force views from any piece of content. Okay, so if your content doesn't have a true payoff or one that's promised but doesn't deliver, it's gonna be a bit like listening to a song that just keeps building but never delivers. People are gonna tune out before it even gets good. Nail the payoff and the audience is gonna stay locked in every single time. But it's because they know it exists. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the top 3 highest performing payoff structures so that your content can guaranteed perform. Number 1 is the gets owned moment. These are the moments in the content where someone or somebody gets owned. These videos are popular because they perfectly set up the payoff in the content without even trying. People are on the edge of their seat the whole video because it introduces tension. So be sure to be on the lookout for moments in your content where this can be crafted. Number 2 is controversy. Controversial moments are one of the most powerful payoffs to evoke an emotion. They build drama and suspense by nature, and this literally hacks human psychology to hook into the viewer's brain and keep them interested. Number 3 is a shocking fact or breaking news. When you're able to bring to light something someone wouldn't have known outside of watching your content, you can instantly hook a viewer's attention and keep them interested by default. But be careful with these ones because you need to be so unique that it's nothing that anyone could have ever heard before outside of your content. Okay, so back to what I was talking about earlier, the payoff only matters in your content if someone knows that it exists. That makes the next step the most important piece of any viral video, the hook. After the hook, I'm gonna show you how we tie all these together to bridge the gap and make sure that the viewers stay for the whole video. Okay, so a hook is the first 3 to 5 seconds of a short form video, but it's really so much more than that. Here's what's cool. Now that you've identified your payoff in the content, your hook becomes 100 times easier to craft. Think of each reel like a bridge. On one end is the payoff, but at the middle, the bridge is foggy and you can't see. On the end closest to you is the hook, and that's promising you the payoff. Or in this case, it's promising you that you'll make it to the other side of the bridge. And don't worry about the middle of the bridge. I'm gonna show you in just a minute how you can connect these two to literally force people to watch the videos. The goal, once you've identified the payoff, is to connect the two using the hook as the promise. So here's how you're gonna craft a good hook using this info. A good hook needs to have 3 elements. It promises a payoff without giving anything away, it evokes curiosity, and it's short and concise. But how do you even craft a hook if it doesn't exist in your content? Check this out. We use AI to generate voiceovers for our content to ensure that a payoff can be promised no matter what. So go to 11labs.com and simply craft a hook. Download the voice and edit it into your video. From there, you can literally craft a hook using all 3 of the elements that I showed you above and manipulate on whatever that promise is for your payoff, no matter what it is. Here's an example of one we did for a doctor. They got over 1 million views.
Is ivermectin.
It's designed for parasites, but it is for humans, not just animals. I think it was approved in 1987. It's won a Nobel Prize in medicine because it's cured river blindness in Africa. It has 20 mechanisms of action. In terms of COVID, it blocks the spike protein, blocks it from entering into the cell, but it also has an anti-inflammatory properties. They're also now finding it may have some benefit with cancer. There's a lot of studies going on about that. And it's been used by over 4 billion people. It's time tested. You can't go to Walgreens and get it anymore, so it's become expensive because you have to go to compounding pharmacies to get it. But it's extremely safe. I haven't had any serious reactions in the 6,000 patients that I've treated with it. Antibiotics, I have a much harder time with side effects. I rarely get any calls about issues with ivermectin.
So you can see how this stuff becomes so easy, it's literally like taking candy from a baby. Okay, so back to the bridge analogy. Remember how I said I'd explain to you that you can use the middle of the bridge to keep people engaged for the whole video? Now you have to make sure that the first 2 steps I showed you don't go to complete waste. Now's the time to make sure that people are actually gonna stay to the end of the video. All right, so we've all seen a movie in the movie theaters, and this is literally no different. So let me explain. In a movie, you start watching, conflict arises, and then something big happens. Then something happens. Then something else happens. Throughout a movie or a storyline, you're continually rehooked back into the story to watch. So here's how you can craft this in your content. There's one golden rule to make sure that your content builds suspense or leads to a payoff without actually giving it away too soon. You want the payoff to be at the end of the video, and the middle of the video is all about suspense and intrigue. You can even rehook people, just like I've done multiple times in the same video. But short form is great because it's, well, short. So you only need to keep someone's attention for around 30 to 45 seconds before the payoff. But that's also what makes it difficult. So make sure that you get this part right. Most storylines typically naturally have this storyline built in. Let me show you an example of one we did for a client that got 3.1 million views on YouTube Shorts. Oh, and by the way, if you want to shortcut your way to views and skip the know-how, you can click the link in the description if you want to take your short form content to the next level and be with my team. All right, here's the video. I'm not going to show the whole thing for time's sake, but I'll show you the summary.
When this woman decided to pray at a school board meeting, the school board chair told her she's not allowed to. But he wasn't ready for what happened next.
So I would like to ask, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to pray for Suffolk Public Schools with all of you.
Ma'am, no ma'am. We ask that you get back onto your topic. No one.
That is my topic, sir.
Well, then it's not permitted at this time.
To pray for our schools is not permitted.
That's correct. And we're going to ask Attorney Waller if you could speak to it.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
At this time, we're going to go to recess.
Ask the officers to remove it.
Officers, during recess, can you clear the room?
All right, you see how it had the perfect hook that promised the payoff, then a body that builds suspense, and then the payoff? That's it. That's all you need to do to go viral on social media. So let's recap this super simple structure. You want to make sure you have a solid payoff in your content, then craft the hook to match up with the payoff, and finally, we're going to make sure that the body connects the two by building suspense. If you do these 3 things, I promise you'll be on your way to getting millions of views on social media. All right, guys, until next time, peace.